Let's take a trip down memory lane. Well, you both sound excited.
Let's do it.
Well, the report just came out that we hit a 40-year high. 1982 is the last time we've been this high in inflation, 7.9%, and that's probably not fully factoring in the $5 and something diesel I just paid. And I was talking to a banker, and I was trying to explain to him, and he's a banker. You think that he would know this, but I tell him this thought I have, and he's like, I never thought of that. And I'm like, crazy, you're a banker that lends money, and you haven't thought of this. But in the 70s, on the right-hand side of the screen here, you see mortgage rates, and you see how long you saw that inflation roll up. It took 7, 8, 10 years of increase before it really peaked there. Could you imagine buying a house at 17.5%?
Yeah, wild.
Like the amount of home that you can't buy anymore. It's low interest rates allowed us to have a housing boom, right? But rates go from 3% to 6%. All of a sudden, half America can't buy their own home anymore. The crazy part is, Ken, if you look at that chart, 1982-ish, where that peak is, look how long it took for rates to come from 18% down to 7.5%.
Yeah, more than a decade.
More than a decade. And I think people are hoping that we're just going to raise rates 25 basis points a couple times. And, on the left side here, look how big that spike is. Will we have a big V? We'll see. But the concerning part is what if this is the new normal and we have to raise rates to where they get up to 6, 7, 8%, and then you got car loans that are going to be almost unaffordable at that point. How long it takes to come back down from that? So are we just in the beginning of a 3 or 4 or 5 year rise in rates and another 5 to 7 years for them to come back down? This will be a lost decade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, how do you think this is going to affect your manufacturing clients on the search side?
Well, I mean, I think overall we're still going to be dealing with, higher costs for employment. If we're looking at these charts and people are going to have to spend a lot more money to survive, that's naturally going to push them to earn a little bit more money. And, our customers are going to have to pay higher fees for our services, and they're going to have to pay higher fees for their staff. So, I just don't know where it ends.
I think steel prices are going up right now. I gotta imagine if you're in batch manufacturing, chemicals are going up. It's every part of your supply chain is going up. If you gotta, not only is the steel price going up, the transportation of that steel is going up. Every single thing is going up. And it's well, you see it now, but you tend to feel this later. And I think that's the thing we often forget. We saw this happening in the summertime. Even before that, Kane and I have been talking about it for about a year. It's coming. It's happening right in front of your face. But you don't really feel it for 6 or 12 months later. Well, now we're feeling it. And now we're seeing it. It's just how long does it take for it to dissipate? And then what are the effects going to be on overall, manufacturing industrial jobs? We still got semiconductor issues, the supply chain issues. They were saying this is going to get better by March. It's March, right?
Yeah.
We're here.
Manufacturing obviously is already struggling to market jobs for the younger generations to go into manufacturing. If the pay is not there, they're going to struggle adding additional staff members to their organization. And coming out of college, kids are probably going to seek out those opportunities that visually they think they can make a better living, going outside of manufacturing into tech or whatever the case may be. So I think this is going to put a lot of pressure to many of our customers.
And manufacturing is going to hurt on that side, especially with the pressure on wages. I was talking to a person that owns one of those like package stores, and they're like, well, business has been steady. People are shipping stuff, and they do notary and all that fun stuff. But she's like, I can't get no one to work. And if they do want to work, then they want like 22 bucks an hour. And she's like, I can't pay 22 bucks an hour to like put a sticker on a package and type it into the computer and send it. And then she had someone ask if they were moving, and they asked if they could do the job from home. And the lady's like, well, how are you gonna move the packages around? Like, it was the dumbest conversation ever. But from her perspective, she's like, I'm screwed. It's like, I got people that they don't even want to come to work. They don't even understand that you have to be here to ship UPS packages. And then they want crazy amount of money, and then when they get there, they don't even want to work when they get there. She's like, I can't pay $40,000 a year for someone that doesn't want to do anything. And do you think that's going to be any better on the industrial and manufacturing side?
No, I don't. I feel like we're moving into a direction where we're pushing this like work from home because they don't have any other choice. Everything's more expensive. They don't want to drive their cars. Inflation's going up. The cost of goods are everything's going up. So like everyone's trying to save a buck, but they also want to earn a bunch of money at the same time, and it's just leaving employers scratching their heads a little bit, wondering how they're going to make things work.
And then I think on the corporate side, the engineers and supply chain people, the manufacturing companies will be okay. When it comes to the hourly workers, I think they're hurting because Amazon's over here with billboards saying, hey, we'll pay you, I'm making a number up here, but $42,000 a year in benefits to come move boxes. And it's like, I don't want to work in the manufacturer. I don't want to drive a high-low for 18 bucks an hour and go to Amazon for 22 bucks an hour. It's like, how do you win this war right now if you're in a traditional manufacturing industrial environment? But then I was talking to someone in another conversation about 2 days ago. It's like, well, they left the restaurant industry because it was too fast paced and the money was so. They went to Amazon because it pays more money. But then they got to Amazon and they realized that they're almost sitting there with a stopwatch, making sure you're working every minute of every day. So yes, you got more money, but Amazon expecting you to do more work. And then they get into the Amazon environment and then they're like, well, this is too much work. And then they leave and then they go on to something else. And to your point, Dennis, we're kind of in an environment now where people want to do less but make more. And for companies to stay like financially viable, that's not going to work in the long run. And I think that's where we're kind of in the pinch right now. And we get focused on Google and Apple and all these people like, oh, they got billions of dollars. And hey, man, most companies don't have the luxury of having $100 billion in cash sitting in their coffers somewhere. A lot of companies are out there fighting to survive every day, and they don't have that luxury.
I think that's such a good point to make, because if you think about the last, 10, 15, even 20 years, pretty low rates, there are business models out there that people have operated in that they only know how to operate in. So, in a low rate environment, if we're talking industrials and trade and all this kind of stuff, if the cost of capital goes up and then your working capital requirements change, there will be people, I think, that don't know how to operate in an environment where rates aren't near zero. And you throw in the fact that labor and things and then goods cost more. It cannot be good.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn. Go ahead, Dennis.
I just think the small businesses, as you mentioned, are gonna struggle to survive, and they just don't have the luxury, as you mentioned, with having a bunch of cash sitting there. And I to me, the ripple down effect is small businesses start closing, people start losing their jobs. But the opposite end is I think the last number was 11.7, million job openings right now. So it's like these small businesses, if they go away, those employees are not going to be as affected as they were, years ago, where there weren't any jobs available. They could just, put it, go on LinkedIn and apply to a couple positions, and get a job the very next day. So I don't know. I don't know what the overall effect is going to be.
My biggest concern is this: if you look at the past year, this just isn't something that resolves itself in 6 months. And like I said, it was going to get better by March. Kane, I'm pretty sure we have an episode in the past on my channel where we said we were laughing about that, probably. That there's no way in hell this is going to get fixed by March. I ordered a truck back in September, and at this point, I have like so many comments on my YouTube channel from people who ordered Fords, 6, 9, 12 months ago, that have no word on when it's getting built. When you look at the supply chain issues, I mean, you add everything up, I can't say the economy's in a wonderful spot right now. And we're going to fix these inflation and supply chain issues by March. That doesn't seem to be the case. So knowing that this is not going to be a quick fix, how long is this going to go on? If you look at charts of the old, it seems like this could drag on for quite a while.
Especially if credit dries up, right? Like that'll be the next trigger, I think, that really takes us into a recession.
That happened in 2008 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
There was a liquidity issue. Banks weren't lending money. I remember talking to people that had their credit card limits cut in half, and then all of a sudden, well, then you can't buy nothing, right? And then now you're cashing out your cryptos, you're cashing out your equities, and the whole thing falls apart. But like you said, we're used to operating in this near zero environment on mortgages, on car loans, on credit cards, business loans. I mean, Dennis, what's business loans right now? Prime plus 1 or something, 1.5. What happens when prime's 8%? Like, you're not buying that extra equipment no more.
Right.
And it's like this. You don't see anyone talking about it because we got the war going on now and it was COVID, but there's a deeper economic conversation. I don't think any of us here are economists other than Kane.
I am not. No way.
I certainly am not. But I think we can look at the past, and while it's not always a predictor of the future, I think we got a rough idea of what could happen. The things we've experienced in 2001, 2008, been in business for over 2 decades. I kind of seen this story before, and I hope it doesn't go that way. But there's what is positive right now, other than, I don't know what is positive right now.
The weather.
I mean, yeah, spring's around the corner. It's got something to look forward to. But
yeah, that's a great question. I'm almost speechless.
Another conversation from this weekend, I presented that to somebody. I'm like, what do you feel is going good right now? Like, in it's big, like 360 view of what's going on. It's like high gas prices, potential war, supply chain issue, worker shortage. The housing market is still kind of going crazy. I know people trying to buy houses right now. They keep getting beat out by cash offers. Where'd all the cash come from?
Yeah, I need that answer.
I need that answer. Like, where's all this cash? So, housing market's still kind of booming. Rates are going up. Like, rents are going up. Like, Dennis, think about this on the inflation side. If you're a small business right now, and all these like T-Mobile and the Starbucks and all these big companies keep moving into all these retail spots, they can afford this like higher rent that's going up. But with inflation, taxes are going up. If you got your base rent on a piece of retail and then you get that triple net bill, when all those costs go up, you're going to start seeing these small businesses like, I can't afford this anymore.
Yeah.
And no one thinks about that because no one's ever seen a triple net bill before. No one had to deal with their, lease negotiation or base rents going up $10 a foot. It's like they want to squeeze small business out, and it's okay because all we get is another franchise dry cleaner, a T-Mobile, some pizza joint, and they just keep moving in. And the small business owners keep getting squeezed out. I don't know, not looking good.
Hope we all like McDonald's.
Hey man, last episode I was just saying, like large fry was $3.50. Now it's going to be like $4.25.
Yeah.
And it's not even for the good fries. You know, they do like seasons on the fries, right? Like the fries are only good 6 months out of the year.
I did not know that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, you don't know that because you don't eat McDonald's.
I do.
No, but I remember looking this up because like certain times of the year the McDonald's fries just taste so good, and it's like as like fruit comes in and out of season. McDonald's, I think, they use different potatoes throughout the times of the year. So there's like the good fries, and then there's like, oh, this is just a fry. This ain't a McDonald's fry.
Whoa.
Dennis is over there like, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm not surprised that somehow you know this information.
Yeah.
I'm telling you because I think we're coming up on the good fry season. I'll tell you I know I know this. I sold a set of wheels off a car ad, and my buddy rolled with me out to like Grand Rapids, and we didn't eat all day, and we ended up hitting the McDonald's, and it was like we're both like, "Is this the best fries you've ever had?" And then he's like, "Yeah," he said, "This is like amazing." Like, and then like I started to see a pattern from there. Like at a certain time of the year, the fries just tasted better, and I remember like Googling it because why not? And then you learn these things, and this is very important.
James is the only one that gets excited when like daylight savings comes around. He knows the French fries at McDonald's are going to improve.
Yeah, I mean, I know my dirt road's about to get better because the thaw is going to go away, and I can get the good fries.
But there's a positive in all the macro.
Hey, man.
But they are going to cost $4.11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like try eating out right now. It's I'm sitting there. Did I just spend $10 on a combo? Like, and it's for it's garbage food. I'm getting garbage food for $10 right now. And if you go somewhere and you get like real food's gonna cost. How much your last like Panera Bread meal cost you?
Yeah, like $30.
Just for you? Damn.
Those with the delivery fees and all that stuff. It was unbelievable.
And that place is like 1 mile from your house.
Yeah.
And you got it delivered.
Yeah.
I wonder if like I know in the last episode we talked about gas prices, but I wonder if like the delivery services, if people are going to start saying maybe I should get off the couch and actually go get my own food. I wonder if that's going to play a role in how people consume food, today versus tomorrow.
I don't know if you guys have that ad, but over here, Domino's is like paying people $3 to go get their own food. I thought it was a clever way to skirt even the labor shortage. If you can trigger an incentive to get people to pick up their own food.
I saw that commercial and I thought it was brilliant. I don't like Domino's pizza, but since they came back from almost bankruptcy, their marketing's been genius.
It's very good.
But there's been times when Jet's Pizza out here, you log in and like we're not delivering today. And I'm like, what the hell you mean you ain't delivering today? I need my 8 square pizza, right? Like, and then one day I've been ordering from this place for 15 years. I think the manager showed up and he's delivering a pizza. I'm like, what the hell are you doing delivering a pizza? I'm like, I got no one else to deliver the pizza. He's like, I'm out delivering the flipping pizzas right now. And then when he doesn't have time to do that, they just turn off delivery. So I could see why Domino's would do that. So I thought that was pretty clever when you realize like how much the worker shortage is really hurting and costing small businesses. Like we can't even get a pizza delivered anymore. It's crazy.
We're all going to have to work on an equation that like you input gas prices for the day and then the distance to restaurants, and it kicks out whether you should or shouldn't go.
I think you're just going to see more people that if they don't get the food while they're out, they're not going to get it. Like I'm going to pick it up on the way home from work, but if I have to go make an extra trip to get it, then I'm probably not going to do it. or I'm definitely not going to pay a delivery service because it's already expensive to do that. I factor in time. It takes me, I'm in the middle of nowhere. It takes me a long time to go get food, wait in line. It's just, I value that hour too much. I'll just pay it. But I think for most people, that's not an option. I mean, Kayla, you spent $30 on probably a half a sandwich and a bowl of soup,
It's close.
you know. My issue is the food keeps shrinking and the prices go up.
That is true.
It's like I got a Panera sandwich one day, the Frontiga chicken or whatever. Dennis, you'd like that. Try that sandwich sometime. But you got to get double chicken, because if you get just chicken, you open the sandwich up and it's like, hey, I call Panera up and I'm like, there's hardly any chicken on there. And they just say, what, a $12 sandwich or something? You know, they're like, well, is there chicken on there? And I'm like, there's chicken on there, but it's not much. It's like, well, we didn't say how much chicken's going to be on there. That's like, what the hell? Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
I had a slider the other day that it was a chicken slider, and legitimately the inside was a chicken nugget.
You tear all the extra bread off around it.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot
it's
of
like
bread with a chicken nugget.
It's like a little pinch of food.
A Lego size sandwich.
For
Can
$4.
I get a 20-piece sliders?
Yeah.
But it sucks, you know, we can joke about it, but if I'm thinking like where I grew up, we couldn't afford this stuff right now. This would have hurt.
Yeah.
This would have hurt. Well, it'll all get fixed by June, so.
That's right.
Yeah. You remember when they talked about like Memorial Day gas prices? Like, what the hell is it going to be this year?
That's right.
Like, it's March. This is I don't know.
$10
Anyways.
in California.
I mean, I think there's going to be a day when you see that. I just hope it's not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Imagine filling up and it's $200.
Oh my gosh.
No one else is even talking about natural gas prices, heating oil prices, propane prices, like, you know, restaurants that use, you know, natural gas for their food. Propane people use to heat their homes. It's all energy prices are going up. And it's just, you know, we're not going to see it on the news because of the war.
True.
So, anyways, that's all I got for this one. I'm going to go get my $4 McDonald's fry and, you know, pray to sweet baby Jesus that it's the good fries.
Okay.
All right. I'll catch you.